Hello, I'm Lisa Peter, and I'm coming to you today on December the 7th, 2014, from Hazelwood, USA. And the topic of my devotional is And at Midnight. Psalms 119, 57 through 62. Thou art my portion, O Lord. I have said that I would keep thy words. I entreated thy favor with my whole heart. Be merciful unto me according to thy word. I thought on my ways and turned my feet into thy testimonies. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. The bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy law. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. Midnight. This is the transition time period from one day to the next. The moment when the date changes. Halfway between sunset and sunrise is what it start and end of the day. Midnight is halfway between sunset and sunrise. It's the beginning of a new day. It's a transition. The Bible instances of midnight in Acts chapter 20, verse 7, and upon the first day of the week, when the disciples came together to break bread, Paul preached unto them, ready to depart on the morrow, and continued his speech until midnight. It was a long service. Acts 16 and 25, and at midnight, Paul and Silas prayed and sang praises unto God, and the prisoners heard them. And suddenly, where did we hear this before? And suddenly, there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken, and immediately all the doors were opened, and everyone's bands were loosed. We just heard about band in the verse I just read before, and in Acts chapter 2, verses 1 through 4, and when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire, and it sat up on each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost, and began to speak with other tongues, as the Spirit gave them utterance. I don't know if that was at midnight or not, but it says when the day of Pentecost was fully come. That was somebody's midnight. It was a transition of time. It went from what had been before to a brand new experience. In Matthew 25, 1 through 46, I'm not reading all that, but it's the parable of the 10 virgins. There were 5 wise. They had their lamps full of oil, and there were 5 foolish. They didn't. They waited till the last second and tried to borrow from somebody else and had to go out to try to get some. They waited too late. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. Genesis 32, 24 through 28, it talks about Jacob. He wrestled all night until the breaking of the day. So it was through that midnight. It was through during the night when this was happening. He wouldn't let go. Some people say it was God he wrestled. Some said an angel. But the verse actually just says he wrestled with him. He won't let go until he's blessed. He said, I won't let you go until you bless me. And whoever he is wrestling with can touch him in the sinew of his thigh. And he had a limp from then on. And he had his name changed. Remember, his name got changed. He wasn't going to be the same anymore. This happened at midnight. While it was still dark, Mary went to the tomb. It could have been midnight. I don't know, but it was still dark outside, and she saw that the stone had been rolled away. Things happen during the night. During your night, when you're going through a hard time, things are going. There's going to be a change. Morning will come. There's going to break the morning. But at midnight, in your midnight, while you're sleeping, a knock came at the door. Remember the man that had laid down with his children and they were sleeping, and a man came asking for bread at midnight. I wrote down that instance, but I didn't look it up. In our children's story of Cinderella, y'all know about the story of Cinderella. We all grew up loving that, especially as girls. A girl who had been a cinder girl, that's where she got her name, Ella. A girl named Ella, who was cleaning the cinders in the fireplace. They named her Cinderella. They called her Cinderella. But you know how the story goes. Some good things happen to her, and she's transformed into a beautiful princess, or a beautiful girl. She's not a princess until she marries the prince later in the story. But anyway, she can only at midnight. And remember, at midnight she has to leave that place. The magic hour in that story, it was the stroke of midnight. And in our lives, we all have a midnight, a turning point. There's going to be a sudden change. That thing you've been praying for a long, long, long time, what you've been wrestling in your spirit over, that thing that you have been warring against the flesh, just turning it over to Jesus. And he's like, just trust and obey. Just keep on waiting. Just wait on the Lord in due season. In due season. It's going to be a sudden change. A miracle is about to take place. The Lord is blessing me right now. Just like Jacob said, I won't let you go until you bless me. I know the Lord is blessing me right now. Chains are broken. You know, we talked about that song, Break Every Chain. We talked about Paul and Silas, and they were all bound up. When the earthquake, we don't know what's going to take to break that chain. It's going to take a lot of prayer. It's going to take praise. They were praising and singing unto God at midnight. You got to praise and sing in your storm, and that foundation is going to break them chains. You're going to be loosed. Chains are broken. You're going to have deliverance. Whatever's binding you up, whatever's keeping you from your victory, just turn it over to Jesus and know that he is in control, that you are going to be victorious. When the rapture takes place, you know, it says, no man knoweth the day nor the hour when the Son of Man is going to return. It says, but we're supposed to be watching and ready. We're supposed to have our lamps filled with oil. We're supposed to be prayed up. And behold, he cometh. We read something today talking about he's coming. Things happen at midnight. Are you ready? Some of the songs we're going to be singing today is, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Honestly, I did not plan this topic around that song. It's after I had it. In that song, At the Midnight Cry, We'll Be Going Home. They both got the word midnight, so I'm using those. Probably not in this order. Oh, Holy Night. Silent Night, because it talks about night. Cinderella, the song about Cinderella, a lot of people use it in their weddings, father or daughter dance kind of things. Anyway, I was going to use a little bit of that song. Behold, he cometh. We talked about that. That's just some of the songs that we're going to do today. Are you ready? Are you ready for the judgment day? You know, there's two sides to this. The midnight, whatever trials and situations you've been going through, you're getting ready to see some victory. What I've been praying for about at Hopewell and in my other missions things, some spiritual battles and stuff I've been going on, I believe when the Lord impressed on me at night and gave me that verse, he told me pick up my Bible. I was going through something. I was praying and just said, like, pick up the Bible, you know, and I got the Bible and I just opened it up. We all do that sometimes. And it's just like, it probably don't matter where you open it, because the Bible's going to speak to our needs wherever, you know, the whole Bible speaks to our needs. But I opened up Psalms 119, verse 62, in the 60s. And when I got to 62, that when I started off with today, at midnight, I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgment. At midnight. That's what really spoke to me. It says, thou art my portion, O Lord. I'm going to say it again. Thou art my portion, O Lord. I have said that I would keep thy words. Have I not said my whole life I will do whatever the Lord tells me to do? I entreated thy favor with my whole heart. We got to seek him with our whole heart and hide his word in our heart. Be merciful unto me according to thy word. I thought on my ways, what am I doing wrong, God? That's what I was saying to him. I'm saying, Lord, I am so confused. I just don't know. You know, I'm just at my end, you know, the end of my rope, so to speak. And I turn my feet into my testimonies. I'm not going to give up on God. You know, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. I made haste and delayed not to keep I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. Anything he says to do, when we want to do it, and act on it when he says to do it. The bands of the wicked have robbed me. I felt like, my victory was taken from me. What God had promised to me, it seemed like somebody else was seeing the rewards of that. But he told me another time that I am the mother. He told me another situation. It seems like over and over and over and over, he just keeps on revealing himself. He just keeps on showing. He has not forgotten. I have not forgotten thy law. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. Suddenly something's going to happen. And this could be the day. Last week we talked about this is the day, or a few weeks ago we talked about this is the day the Lord has made. Today could be your day. Every day could be your day. But at midnight. God bless you. You have a wonderful day.